Honor's latest flagship foldable is hitting international shelves a lot sooner than previous models, and it has been jam-packed with some much-needed upgrades. In the box you'll find the device itself, as well as a premium leather-finished kickstand case with a front piece, a 6-amp charging cable, and a 66-watt charging brick. The Honor Magic V3 just launched in the global market, so I'm unaware of the global price at the time of making this video, but I'll be sure to put the price in the comment section down below, as well as any purchase links. That said, it should be in line with other flagship foldable prices. However, it only comes in one variant with 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. Some of the most notable changes this year are seen inside the camera system, which is what all foldables seem to be striving to improve upon in 2024. They have now changed up the camera module to look similar to their flagship bar-styled Magic devices, but its dome-shaped module has been diamond cut into an octagon shape. And to round it off, Honor have collaborated with Studio Harcourt to bring different AI portrait modes. Honor have traded in the telephoto camera for a new 1 in 2.51 inch sized 50 megapixel periscope sensor with OIS, an f3.0 aperture, and a 90mm focal length for 3.5 times optical zoom. The 26mm 1 in 1.56 inch sized 50 megapixel main camera has an aperture of f1.6, making it the largest aperture lens on any foldable smartphone, and it now uses an 8-wide SMA actuator for superb OIS. And lastly, the ultra-wide camera has also been upgraded to a new 40 megapixel sensor with an f2.2 aperture and a 16mm focal length for a 112-degree field of view. And all three of these sensors now offer 3 different color profiles. There's natural, which is more true to life, vibrant, which offers a nice balance, and authentic, which gives photos an artistic, gloomy look. Since vibrant is the default mode and offers the best balance, that's what we'll be sticking to for the rest of these photos. Motion sensing capture is still around, which automatically takes a snap when it detects movement, and thanks to Honor's impressively fast shutter speeds, the Magic V3 has no problems keeping moving subjects in focus. And yes, this mode can be utilized across all the back cameras. As mentioned earlier, Honor have recently joined forces with Studio Harcourt, offering 3 different AI portrait modes, namely Vibrant, Color, and Classic, which gives users that original monochrome look. These different portrait styles can be used with the periscope sensor as well, and it's hard to believe that these shots were taken on a foldable smartphone. There's a super macro mode option which utilizes the ultra-wide camera for a detail-packed image when close up. The new ultra-wide sensor takes very pleasing shots of scenery, whether you use high-res mode or standard photo mode, and the same can be said when taking the same photo with the main camera. The periscope takes questionable photos when set to high res, but things look fantastic when binned down in photo mode, and it continues to please when zooming in further at 5 times and 10 times ranges, though detail starts to dip when zooming in from 30 to 100 times. Honor are now giving their foldables the same attention as their flagships, with features such as continuous 4K 60fps video, allowing you to switch from the ultra-wide to the main to the periscope, all the way up to 10 times digital zoom in a single video. But unfortunately, slow motion video is limited to Full HD resolution and 240 frames per second. It can only be used with the main camera, and there is a lot to be desired when it comes to detail. There is still no 8K video or ultra stabilization video option, but all 3 sensors can record video at 4K 60fps, and I was very surprised to see how stable they all came out, considering it was a very windy day. All cameras produce detailed video, but there's no doubt that the main sensor takes the lead here. There's only a portrait video mode option for the main camera, but it's limited to 1080p resolution, and its edge detection is questionable. That said, regular 4K video comes out with fantastic natural depth, whether shooting with the main or periscope sensors. Portrait video is underwhelming at night, and while the periscope comes out a tad underexposed and grainy, the main camera offers a super night video mode option, which left me very impressed, despite it being limited to Full HD resolution. When recording regular 4K video at night, the main camera certainly comes out looking the best, but far from the best I've seen before. At least it's not filled with grain, which is noticeable on the ultra-wide and periscope footage, but none of them really know how to handle light noise. The ultra-wide continues to struggle with light noise handling when taking a photo at night, but the main and periscope produce very impressive images. The periscope manages to take a very good 5 times zoom photo, but detail starts to take a back seat at a 10 times zoom range. And just like we saw with day pics, long zoom range photos are not exactly the Magic V3's strong suit. I was very impressed with the main camera when taking photos of a human subject at night, and while the periscope produced a great image, it struggled with clarity. Neither of them changed their effect when enabling portrait mode at night, but the main camera added even more detail to my face. The Honor Magic V3 takes the best photos and videos I have ever seen produced from an Honor Foldable, and its main camera is up there with the best of the best. But the best thing about this back camera system is that you can use all of these cameras as selfie cameras. Before we start comparing back cameras to selfie cameras, it's worth mentioning that both the outer and inner displays have punch hole cutouts for the exact same 20 megapixel selfie camera with an f2.2 aperture and a 21mm focal length for a 90-degree field of view. So we'll be sticking to the outer display selfie camera when taking snaps. To utilize the back cameras for selfies, you just have to tap on the top left icon in the camera app when in selfie mode and then unfold the device. The outer display is then used as a preview screen and also allows you to control the camera app as you usually would. The rear ultra-wide camera allows you to fit more into the frame when compared to the selfie camera, and while the selfie camera still takes fantastic photos, the main camera produces more detail and better natural depth. Though I was quite surprised how well the selfie camera performed when taking a portrait shot.
What's up guys, this is TechNick recording a 4K 30 frames per second selfie video on the brand new Honor Magic V3. This is the max FPS that you can get when recording at 4K when using the selfie cam. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts on the video and microphone quality.
The selfie camera caps 4K video at 30 FPS, but I'm very happy to see an option for 4K selfie video, as many foldables limit selfie video to full HD. I was also rather surprised to see how stable selfie video came out. Selfie video might not look quite as good as main video in terms of detail and dynamic range, but it still looks very good. It's just awesome to know that you can use the very capable main camera to vlog on the go. Differences are a lot more apparent at night, which will most likely push users to stick to using the rear cameras for selfie videos. But the rear ultra-wide camera doesn't perform too much better than the selfie camera when recording video at night. The selfie camera took a surprisingly good photo when compared to the ultra-wide camera at night, since the ultra-wide sensor messed up tonal range a bit, but the rear main sensor produced an incredible selfie photo at night, adding in a lot more detail than the selfie camera, which is a similar case when comparing the main and selfie photos in portrait mode at night. It's extremely useful to be able to use the flagship main cameras as selfie cameras, but the Honor Magic V3 houses some very capable selfie cameras, which is a very nice bonus considering most other foldables don't really pay much attention to selfie camera performance. Honor's latest foldable brings 3 different colors to the global market, namely black, green and reddish brown, seemingly leaving the white variant as a China exclusive. I have the green variant and its forest-like dark hue is very nice when combined with the glossy camera ring and hinge and dark grey matte finished side rails. The back plate is made from superfiber, which is supposedly 40 times more impact resistant when compared to the iPhone 15 Pro's back glass. It shimmers in light and has a soft feeling touch. The back slightly curves on the left edge, which flows into the aluminum frames. The Magic V3 has once again broken records in terms of foldable thickness, coming in at just 9.2mm thick when folded and 4.35mm when unfolded, making it once again the thinnest foldable smartphone on the planet. It's now lighter too at just 226 grams, making it even lighter than Samsung's bar-styled Galaxy S24 Ultra. The device is now also lighter thanks to Honor's 2nd generation Super Steel hinge, which is lighter, thinner and stronger than before. It now also packs in an additional set of swing arms to aid it in lasting for up to 500,000 folds. It can hold itself at any angle between around 45 to 135 degrees, and when completely unfolded there is a natural crease, but it's apparently just 78 micrometers deep, which is significantly better than the Z Fold 6's 217 micrometer depth. Once you fold it back up, it's not surprising that there is absolutely no gap. And Honor have now added a much needed feature, that being an IPX8 water resistant certification, though it can be submerged even deeper than other foldables at a whopping 2.5 meters deep for up to 30 minutes. The external display is protected by anti-scratch nano crystal shield, while the inner screen is protected by Super Armor, which uses silicon gel and nanoscale coating. Both displays offer stylus support. Just like with most foldables, the Magic V3 uses a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, but it's now a lot faster and more responsive. There's now a full screen always on display option, and of course there's still face unlock. Both displays are identical to the Magic V2, that being a 6.43-inch OLED cover screen with 402 pixels per inch, an upgraded 5000 nits of peak brightness, which is just insane, and a very pleasing 20:9 aspect ratio, as well as a 7.92-inch OLED inner display with 402 ppi, an unchanged 1600 nits of brightness, and a 9.78:9 aspect ratio. Both of them can display over 1 billion colors. They both support Dolby Vision, HDR10, HDR10+, and Widevine L1 content, and they both make use of LTPO 8T technology for a 1:120Hz screen refresh rate. They are also both treated to Honor's eye comfort display technology, with features such as circadian night display, AI defocus, natural tone, dynamic dimming, and high-frequency PWM dimming. But while the internal display has remained at 3840Hz PWM, the cover screen has jumped up to 4320Hz. Other than the new full-screen always-on display feature I mentioned earlier, there is now a standby clock which can be activated when half-folded in multiple different positions and adjusted to your preference. The Honor Magic V3 comes with MagicOS 8.0.1 out the box, which is skinned over Android 14, and since this is the global variant, it's filled with all of Google's goodies, as well as a few Google-driven AI features, such as Gemini, which can replace Google Assistant once downloaded, Google Image Search with Magic Portal, which uses Google to find more info on what's on your screen, AI Eraser to remove an object from an image, face-to-face translation, and of course voice-to-text transcription in the Honor Notes app, which allows you to use a voice recorder in the Notes app and transform it into text. Other than AI features, MagicOS has always been one of my favorite Android skins around, thanks to its optimized feel and generous organization options with things such as large folders. But since this is a foldable, there's a lot more you can do in terms of multitasking. You can choose whether you'd like single or dual screens on your home screen, which is usually not an option. You can enable a global taskbar, which can be brought up while inside an app, view suggested and all apps from the taskbar, drag a second app in for split screen, adjust window sizes, switch to a horizontal layout, save the split screen combo on your home screen for use later on, and bring other apps in as floating windows and pin them to the side for easy access. Hover mode can be used to transform your foldable into a laptop when typing, or to watch videos propped up while utilizing the bottom half of the screen for another action. And if that's not enough, the selfie camera can even turn into a dynamic island to further enhance your multitasking experience, which naturally works on the cover screen as well. The Honor Magic V3 packs in a slightly larger 5150 mAh silicon carbon battery, which can be charged up using the same fast 66-watt wide charging, or for the first time ever seen on an Honor foldable flagship, 50-watt wireless charging. The device also makes use of a new titanium vapor chamber, which should keep all components running cool, including 512 gigs of UFS 4.0 storage, 12 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, and of course the 4nm run Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 CPU, which means it produced some very high hitting benchmark scores across multiple different benchmark apps. And I wasn't surprised to see it play games without a sweat. We managed an average of 120 FPS while playing Real Racing 3 without any issues, as well as a stable 120 frames per second when playing Call of Duty Mobile on ultra frame rate mode. It's also nice to see that we can shift from the inner display to the cover screen mid-match without facing any scaling issues or restarts. Lastly, we booted up Genshin Impact, which has a frame limit of 60 FPS, and we averaged a rock solid 60 FPS the entire time with all the graphical settings maxed out. Honor's latest foldable also makes use of Bluetooth 5.3, NFC, dual SIM 5G and Wi-Fi 7, as well as a USB 3.1 Type-C port which doubles as a display port, an IR blaster, an X-axis linear vibration motor, 3 microphones, and symmetrical dual stereo speakers with DTS:X Ultra, so let's go ahead and give them a listen.
No one escapes my sight!
Honor have taken everything that made the Magic V2 incredible and improved on it with the Magic V3. It has better performance, a larger battery, now has wireless charging, software is more optimized and makes better use of AI, the displays are brighter and more refined, it's now waterproof, its design has been reimagined, its cameras have been seriously upgraded, and when it didn't seem possible for foldables to get any thinner, Honor somehow managed to do that too. Let me know your thoughts on the Magic V3 in the comment section down below. This is TechNick and I'll catch you in the next one.